looking to see myself express all that I can in any place I find myself in. So I'm looking to be the best wherever I stand, in my work, in my family. I want to be unique and bring out all that I have to give on the table.
That deserves a round of applause. And trust me, you are at the right place. You are at the right place because the lineup of that we have, trust me, it will blow your mind. You know, I put you on the spot because we are saying that the woman in the arena, the woman in the arena doesn't necessarily need to be ready. You should be on your toja. You are a Okay, so we are going straight into the conversation and we are going to have our very first discussion. I'm sure we saw the Let Me Be a Woman story and that was inspiring. You see, when you go under an authority, we're mostly vulnerable in the society when it comes to our reproductive health, when it comes to entrepreneurship. Sometimes you'll be in a space and you are being bullied because you are a woman. But see, if an organization wants to step in and say, no, women, we are not trying to rub shoulders with men, but we want to be unique in our own space, wherever we find ourselves. That is all we are asking for. And that is one of the core values and aims of the Let Me Be a Woman Foundation. So they are catching them young, right from the teenagers, then to the mothers, then to teenagers, adolescents, to mothers. Am I right, Zoe? Yes. Okay. The first conversation is going to be a panel discussion. And the topic is the woman in the arena, inspiring the next generation. I will say that the bold is the new normal. Bold is the new normal. And we need to have some of these conversations. So it's about principles that underpin taking bold action. Panelists are going to share experiences and lessons on courage, resilience, and vulnerability to inspire the next generation to embrace the challenges of the future and pursue bold action. Our moderator is the beautiful Roberta Blankson. A round of applause for her. Wow. Great. Everything is just spot on point. I think we are twinning. Yes. Please, you can have your seat. And our panelists are Renikyo Boating. Oh, nice. Those are pretty Boating. And we have our beautiful sister, Emmeline Date. So at this point, I'll hand over the microphone to our moderator and yeah, we begin. Thank
Thank you very much once again. Can you hear me in the back? Can you hear me? Okay, so thank you very much, Zoe, for putting this together and everyone who's a part of this. Indeed, we're excited to have this session, The Woman in the Arena, and we're talking about inspiring the next generation of good women and thinking about how we as women who have taken up space in our own arenas can share and inspire the next generation to be able to take up their own space, to be able to find the places where they thrive, to be able to deal with uncertainties, to be able to combat their own fears and challenges, and how they can scale up to be able to thrive in this world and give women their own space. So it's a little bit of a nutshell of what we're going to discuss today. And I would briefly introduce our speakers, our August speakers, and then we can dive right in. So today I have with me um, Mrs. Renee Boateng and also um, Mrs. Emmeline Darte. So Renee Boateng is a dynamic female empowerment coach and an astute thought leader dedicated to bringing out the inner power of women. She offers training, coaching, and public speaking on personal branding, self-confidence, self-development, and confidence. From her noteworthy corporate career at Gillette UK and Zenith Bangana Limited to boldly stepping into entrepreneurship, Renee has leveraged her personal brand to influence, impact, and access extraordinary opportunities, emphasizing that success is often hindered not by a lack of potential, but a lack of presence. Her vibrant energy captivates audiences, leaving them empowered to command any room they enter. Drawing from her own challenging experience with infertility, Renee founded Butterflies and Pearls, a movement that supports women waiting on the Lord, especially for the fruit of the womb. She also hosts Renee Q Show, a lifestyle talk show available on YouTube, and has created the Akono Wife program to coach young wives on building and sustaining their marriages. She has launched numerous successful ventures in fashion and beauty and has reopened a store to Beje.
It's Beje.
To Beje.
My MS didn't understand.
To Beje, you tell us what it means. Okay. So to Beje by Renee Q, featuring her clothing and accessories. Her dedication to personal branding and self-improvement has earned her the title of the self-coach, focusing on aspects of self-confidence, self-esteem, self-love, self-image, and worth. In 2020, she was featured as in the first edition of the book, Those Who Inspire Ghana. In 2021, she was selected as one of the 100 most impactful women contributing towards the UN SDGs. An amazing woman by all standards. And recently, she was appointed as the regional chair for the West Africa Hub of She Africa Forum. A wonderful round of applause for Renee. And I'll move to our next speaker. Emmeline Darte is a woman with a coat of many colors, and she's looking very, very vibrant today. With over 13 years of experience and a professional background in human resources, she has worked in diverse industries spanning academia, media, aviation, and that's just naming a few. With a passion for helping businesses thrive, she provides consulting services and corporate and communications training through her company ICS Africa Limited. She holds numerous certifications from the Human Resource Certification Institute in USA, Valley View University, and the John Maxwell team. Since 2017, she has received global awards and recognition for her work, and some of them are Ghana's 100 Most Influential Women in 2017, 50 Most Influential Young Ghanaians, Ghana 25 Under 25 Mentor Awards in Human Resource and Business Consulting in 2022, and the International Africa Women's Peace Award in 2024. A wonderful round of applause for Emmeline. So that gives you a good understanding of the people who are here, the wealth of experience that they have in sharing with us today. As I said, in this session, we will be able to gather pearls that would enable us to think differently, to think boldly and to step into our own spaces and take a cue from these wonderful women and the journeys that they've had over the years. And so, diving right in and setting the stage for this conversation, we are in Ghana and we are in Africa. And when you contextualize that in the rest of the world, we are a continent that has a lot of opportunities, but also face a lot of challenges when it comes to wanting to do the things we want to do. We have vast dreams, we have big ideas, but when you juxtapose that with the challenges and the realities of the context in which we are in as Africans, um, how are we able to balance our dreams with the realities and the challenges that life brings to us? And leveraging your own experiences, how can young people be able to balance their vibrant dreams with the realities of the context in which they are to be able to step into their own arena? So I'll start with you, Emily.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Um, I would just want to recognize Zoe and team for putting up this beautiful event, and to also let her know that she's giving me the opportunity to meet this woman I've followed on on Instagram for years. I run a blog, Fearless and Fabulous Network, where I just promote and showcase women just to let you know it's possible. And today she's sitting beside me. She has no idea. She's had a secret admirer for so long. And when I saw I was on a bill with her, I'm like, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Thank you for making this dream possible. Please clap for her. She's an amazing woman, very humble. We've been watching her from afar. And I think that with such an event, just knowing what people like her stand for it ends the whole event. Because you cannot see people who have, in the same environment, thrive and say it can happen to you. I mean, it's possible. Um, it's a very good question you've asked, and it's one of the things that we try to change the narrative when we speak to young women, we mentor young women and men where possible. Using my life story, I believe first of all, it started with me knowing that I don't understand what impossible means. You know, when you're ignorant that you have a flaw, when you don't know you have a flaw, but you put your mind to something, you have that flaw. You're like, really, I had a flaw. It's a life experiment to let you know that everything starts here. What do you feed your mind with? What do you constantly consume? Who do you have around you as your associations? Some people you may not meet in person, but thank God for social media. Do you follow them? This is the first time I'm meeting Zoe in flesh, in case you don't know. Oh, in case you don't know. But I've known her for so long. We're on WhatsApp, we're on Instagram, and today I met her for the first time. I always tell people there is nothing like an excuse. Listen, your excuse might be reasonable. Yes, you have an issue. Yes, you have a challenge. But it doesn't justify anything. Because life, as much as life is unfair, it doesn't wait for you to get it right. So, what I would say is that, first of all, know who you are. Self awareness is power. The problem is that when you don't know how powerful you are, you don't know how gifted you are, everything becomes impossible for you. And more often than not, because of the African culture we come from, by default, you are limited. Once you're born an African, by default, culturally, and then you're a woman too, how dare you dream? Like, how dare you go beyond what you believe in? And so that already is a natural limitation we have to fight. And women, we do fight. Everything is against us. Time is against you. The body works with time. Is that not it? But then, hello. the unfortunately, human beings don't behave the way you expect them to. So, for example, if you Don't get married early, then it becomes a challenge for you and you feel like that's the end of your life. Because biologically you are ticking. Is that not it? Then it also comes to opportunities to grow your career. Time too is against you. People think that you're a woman. Why should I give it the chance to be a leader? Why should I give a chance to be a manager? Why should I give a chance to be in tech, in a STEM world? But what I have done is that when people meet me, I don't portray myself to be a woman. I portray myself to be a human being. Because a man and a woman can be blessed with the same gifts. But it's when you let people think that, and my sister mentioned about being a weaker sex. There's the argument. So if we are the weaker sex, who is weak and who is the weakest? So the debate is on, are men weak or weakest? But we have been defined already. But must that definition become a reality of being like not a success in life? And being weak does not mean you don't have strength. It only means you are vulnerable. So I have always had it at the back of my mind that I want to succeed. And I have no excuse. So I go into life head on. Time is not enough for you to let us know what we've been through. Like, time is not enough. Zoe knows a little of what we've been through. Like, she follows. Some of us, our social media is not just showing the glam. We also share our pain because people need to connect. That's how you get to know we are not fake. But what I would say is that the challenges that the globe brings to you should be a catalyst for you to want to succeed. And I'm going to stop there.
Wow.
Now that's a wow. That's a big wow. Wow. It's so nice meeting you as well. Thank you so much. You almost made me cry there. I had to look away and listen, not listen. And well done, Zoe. You've done an amazing job. Ladies, well done. Gentlemen, well done for coming. For investing your time, for being here. It's not just about being here. You're going to leave a different person. It's fantastic that, we are all, and I like what she just said about not sharing just the good, showing the glam of it all. Because life is not really all about glam. There are many difficulties out there. There are many frustrations. There are many, there's so, and if we don't show the real, we really will not grow. So God bless you so much, for everything you've shared. You've said it all, really. There's nothing for me to add. Um, but I really think that, like she said, as women, it's difficult to actually even express that you have a dream. It's almost like, how dare you have a dream? What do you mean? I remember when I finished university and then I started, well, I thought I wanted to be in the World Bank. That's all, that's where I saw myself. For different reasons, if we have time, I'll share. But I just saw myself at the World Bank. So I thought, okay, start in the bank in Ghana, small, 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 and I'll get to the World Bank. So I entered banking. I was fantastic at my job, but there was no fulfillment. For some reason, I just wasn't satisfied. I just felt like it's not for me. That bank, thing with the suit and the shirt. I mean, what I pictured wasn't what I was feeling. I just realized that that really is not me. And then, what is your dream is the question. What is your dream? Do you even know what your dream is? Now, how important is the dream to you? What impact is this dream going to make in your life? What impact will this dream make in the lives of others? And how much are you even willing to sacrifice for this dream? So this is really, really important. What is this dream? Now, one thing about, I'm sure many of us are entrepreneurs here. The way to really succeed as an entrepreneur is to give the people what they need. What is needed? What situation can you solve? What is really, really needed? And at the time, I think what was right and what I did, and luckily, what I felt to do was something that wasn't being done at the time. So it was also a niche market. So finding that niche market is your dream as well in the niche. You need to push for it. You will hear too many different things. Your father will tell you something, your mother will tell you something. I remember my dad didn't talk to me for about a year when I left the banking industry. And when I started what I started, you have wasted my money. How dare you? And I took you abroad. International fees. You are not British. I mean, we went on and on and on. Why? Because I had the dream of making jewelry. I made this. I made what I'm wearing. I had the dream of just seeing women so beautiful, At the time, this one question, we'll continue, but I just feel led to just share this, that at the time that I moved to Ghana, the only accessories available were gold or silver, gold, pure gold or silver. Not all of us could afford pure gold. So if you're in university and you want to wear jewelry, there's no, what is there? The silver to you buy it to tarnish, no. The designs to were only the GMA, the all those beautiful Edinkra symbols and everything, very, very beautiful, but sometimes you want something stylish. Look at all those colors over there, with your outfit. Look at just how it just, pops. And at that time, we didn't really have accessories like this. I'm talking about maybe about 24 years ago, about 24, 25 years ago. Don't come and calculate my, don't, you know, and I just realized that what I had abroad, where I could go and buy a dress and find something to match, wasn't here. So I started making it for myself. And when I started making it for myself, people were always admiring, and I'll give it to them as gifts. But then when I realized that I had resigned and didn't have a job and I needed to make money, one day I just said, okay, pay me 10 CDs, for example. And they were willing to. And I was like, really? So that dream can now bring me income. But how are we going to put this dream together? Let me end here. We'll continue.
Wow, that's amazing. And I'm taking my own notes here, as we, have these conversations. It's wow. And I would like to pick up from where you left off and talk about um, how to be courageous and always see the and the jigsaw puzzles aren't always fitted right.
They're not
So
puzzling.
yeah, they're not. The puzzle is not puzzling. So in the midst of uncertainties, maybe you have a dream, but you can't see the fullness of that dream, or there are so many missing pieces. How do you forge ahead in the midst of uncertainty? And in your own personal experiences, how have you been able to forge ahead in the midst of certain uncertainties? And how did that affect your life, say personally or professionally? How can people, in the midst of uncertainties, gather courage and do amazing things?
Okay, so you see, if you wait for the weather to be clear, you will not make, if you're a farmer, you will never sow seeds, right? Um, there's this story in the Bible, for those of you who are Christians, the three lepers. I like to use them as an example. There was war, and I don't think anybody in Ghana has ever experienced war before. If you go to Rwanda, you will tell yourself Africans have no excuse. Um, the three lepers found themselves in between dying where they were during war or just going to find out what is ahead. So there's fear and there's curiosity. So we say there's anxiety and then there's curiosity. So anxiety is like, Charlie, where I am, dear. Hi, I don't know what is there. I'd rather stay here. I can calculate where I am. I can predict what will happen when I'm here, but I can't predict what will happen if I take that step. Is that not it? And so naturally, human beings want to be in a comfort zone. But these three lepers are like, yo, if we stay here, there's one common denominator, death. If I stay here, we die. If we move, we can also die. So why don't we just move and die? You know, so they decided that death is inevitable anyway. So let me know I died moving. Was it 50 Cent that said, get rich or die trying? We like the songs, but we forget the lyrics actually have meanings. So these three lepers decided to move from anxiety to curiosity, which we all should learn. What is in the future for me? Like, not everybody would be able to meet people to tell them. Some of us have been blessed to get people to tell us there's a future ahead of you, so move ahead. Not everybody has a chance, right? But it doesn't matter. These three lepers decided to, they didn't have legs, to just move, and they crawled. And to their surprise, hey, people had died and left bounty. Like, hey, so we would have been here crying, not knowing that on the other side of fear, there's wealth. And the history We don't know what happened to them, and that was where the Bible ended. We don't know what happened to them again. But if people who are lepers, who we call disabled people, who didn't have motivational speakers around them like Renee here and Zoe, who didn't have, the light at the end of the tunnel, could take that risk. And that's one thing we women need to understand. Listen, take that risk. Where you are is also a risk. Are you aware? You risk being nothing. You risk not achieving your goals. You risk being unfulfilled. She said it. She decided to take a risk. I know how our parents were. There's a certain life standard. This is how your life should be. My mom and I didn't talk. We were not close for years because I couldn't fit her and her mindset of what a woman should be. She was a midwife. She wanted me to also be a doctor because her husband was a doctor. It didn't work out. Said, okay, if you can't do medicine, do nursing. I'm like, I don't see, unfortunately, I didn't see myself in any of my parents' footsteps. And I tried to tow an unusual lifestyle. She didn't get it, so she didn't like me for a long time. I had friends, I was so jealous that I would have female friends who could relate with their moms. I couldn't connect with my mother. Before she passed, she was so proud of me because I took the risk to be what she couldn't understand. I had to learn to love my mom even when she didn't love me. It didn't mean she didn't love me, but when parents don't see you do, then they like to show you the other side of them. I had to learn how to forgive her for not believing in me. I had a dad who believed in me, so that what made it up for me, you know. And I pushed. Every time she hurts me, I tell people, if you want to get the best out of me, just hurt me, reject me, say things about me, don't love me. Hey, for me, that is my catalyst too. That is my fertilizer. I will just level up. Some people will be depressed. I used to be there. I've been suicidal before. And, at that point where you're pregnant with destiny, suicide becomes like, okay, you know what? It's okay. And it's easier to die. And it's difficult to live. Trust me, guys. When you see people committing suicide, they've just given up. But at the point where I was going to give up, today told me not to do that yesterday. I didn't see today, though. But the one who holds my future saw it and said, where do you think you are going? I haven't called you. There are women who need you. Please endure the pain for tomorrow. And I took that risk. So please, let's learn to take risk. If nobody believes in you, you are enough to believe in yourself. You are enough. And trust me, there are many times I've taken steps I didn't hear confirmation. I'm used to hearing God tell me what to do. That's how I live my life. And there are times when God may not speak directly, He will use people. Hey, there are times when you are just clueless. So I say, no, God, you know what? I'm going to move. I don't know whether what I'm doing is right or wrong. Let me make that mistake, correct me. Because that mistake becomes a lesson to make you not make that mistake tomorrow. So I made a step. I left Nigeria. I grew up in Nigeria. Coming to Ghana was something I didn't want to do because I was used to what I had over there. It was going on well for me until life began to get messed up. And then I took a bold step to come to Ghana. I didn't feel like Ghana was in my destiny. But I decided, let me just go and see what's happening. 2008 down the line, I haven't regretted my decision. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So I would say that in the midst of uncertainty, be comfortable that things are not certain. The people you enjoy, the celebrities you see and all that, they were all uncertain at a point. But they took the risk. So why don't you also decide to do the same thing and just make that move? Don't wait for perfection. You can never be perfect. Progress. Mistakes are good. Make the mistakes, but don't make it the second time. That is the only thing. Don't fail on the same thing continuously, because if you keep failing in the same thing, it means we are not learning. And a good woman needs to learn how to fail and stand and walk and fail and stand and walk. That is what has made us who we are today. You read the lovely stories about us, the scars behind those things, the fallings, the injuries, the head injuries, the knockouts, the coma. All of those things have made us what we are today. So I'll tell you, use uncertainty to become a leverage just to get to where you need to go. So don't be anxious. Don't be afraid. Be curious and get there. Thank you.
Well, don't be anxious, be curious. and you'd get there.
I love to be on panels with ladies like this. Because they finish, I'm just like, you've said it. That's it. But fantastic. I love a lot of what you said. It's funny that your father, you had a good relationship with your father. Mine was vice versa. So my mother loved me because she loved the jury. So I was giving her, and then measure with you, what day, so making the pieces for her. But it's so funny. Life is so interesting. My brand is Renee Q. The Q stands for my maiden name, Kwaku. But it also reminded me of quality. I see the Q and I saw a queen. I mean, there's so many things that the Q stood for me. So I branded it Renee Q. Today, my father told them, do you tell them the Q is Kwaku? You tell them. He's so proud of me now. He calls me and says, guess what? I'm with this ambassador's wife. Talk to her. Now he's my number one marketer, promoter. Seriously, sometimes he calls me to advise other people. So even though there'll be that tough, a bit of like sometimes a struggle, don't be afraid to go through the struggle. As our culture and as we are, oh, we don't want to offend our parents or we don't want to offend society. So let's just do as they want us to do. And we are so unhappy for our whole lives. And what is the whole point of this? Now, let me share this very quickly. I told you about when I left banking and I started jewelry. So I started and I sold one piece and I said, oh, let me make a few pieces. Let me see if it will sell. So I made a few pieces, about 11 pieces, took it to one lady, took it to her home. I had this beautiful basket, wicker basket, put them all together. I've always loved branding and packaging, and one day we have to talk about that. How you put yourself together is what will take you where you are. It's really, really important. So I went to her home with about 11 pieces. She bought about 6, and I was so happy. And then so it became word of mouth. Somebody sees it, then, they'll give me a call and all that. And one of my aunties became another big client of mine. Serious Kumasi lady who likes her life. She'll call her Kumasi sisters, yeah, but bra. Then one day she asked me, I used to just take things to her place. A lot of the ladies who come from Kumasi, it was not in Kumasi. So I was like, they used to come and buy the pieces and go. I mean, glory to God. It was just really amazing at the time. Now, one day we had like a sellout like that in her house. Her friends went and she asked me, Renee, so the dates in tree, the days that I don't call you to come, Madame perform by, and when my friends haven't come, what do? I said, Auntie Maggie, damn it. The way I sleep. Oh, I love TV. That will put on the DS, and I was all of this with pride. I was telling my auntie, hey, nobody has called because when I come, I sell all. So when I finish, then I go and sleep. So you call me again. That was it. Because she just listened to me and listened to me. And when I finished, then she asked me, but why don't you have a shop though? Because you are doing so well. Your accessories are doing so well. Why don't you have a shop? And what was my answer? Mishru, I'm afraid. I'm afraid if I go and get the shop, rent, electricity, water, GRA. Have you been told about GRA? It's not the topic. It's not the topic, okay. Taxes, staff, um, dollar rates. I mean, all these things. So when I was telling her all these things, and she said, and Enna, she was serious. Sometimes I love the tree so much because it's more like, it speaks more to your soul than the English. The English is a bit down. Do you understand? I watered it down. Because when I finished everything, she said, Enna, what's the meaning of that? So what? So when I said all of that, and then I told her that, she said, and so what? And I said, oh, Auntie Maggie, and I just gotten married. I said, Auntie Maggie, I also don't want to go and be asking my husband for everything. Oh, my bill, oh, my this, oh, my this, oh. And she said, but who said go and ask your husband anything? I said, and so what? And then she said to me, Renee, shop. Go and get a shop. She said, when you get the shop, and everything that you need to run that shop, bigger ideas will come in your mind for bigger money. When you get a shop, and so look, the fear, sometimes that fear is what should push you to even get bigger. That I got a small shop in Osu. Small shop was like the washroom. I went to the washroom. It was like literally like small like that. And then I put some little partition in B, and my office was like this, and I'll come out and and people came and they were just loving it. Now, guess what? People came, and every time they come, they are buying the accessories, but they are looking at my face. Hey, Renee, who did your brows? Hey, Phil, this makeup, who did it? Myself. I've always done it myself. Now, when I kept hearing and hearing and hearing and hearing, I said, you want makeup? I'm coming. I went to go and learn, came back. Renee Q, makeup artistry. The number one who brought makeup artistry into Ghana. There was no makeup artist in Ghana. Professional. When I say professional, at the time when you're getting married, is the also for mommy, the pastor's wife, or your godmother, or your mother, sometimes your grandmother, sorry, who do the makeup. And it will be so bad because they'll bring their makeup to do your makeup. So if we are different skin tones, then sorry. There were schools. There were like self self-care schools and places, but they were mainly into facial but not professional makeup artistry. So the good thing as well is that fear will open your ears. You suddenly start hearing what is needed. You have to listen around, and that is what will push. So the thing, fear standing in my shop opened my ears to hear more, to bring me more. And that is really what happened. Fear can be a powerful tool. Don't look at fear as, when I say powerful tool, use it positively. So use fear positively. Don't be afraid of fear. When the fear comes, say thank you and let it push you. So don't look at fear and start panicking that, oh my goodness. That fear should rather push you because it should tell you you can do more and you need to do more to overcome whatever it is you're going through right now. So ladies, we are not afraid though. Are we afraid? By the end of this, we'll all be standing up and we'll be like this. The gentlemen too. Oh, when I say ladies, some man is becoming like that. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, but say we say, let me be a woman. So when I say it's just understand me small, Charlie. Hashtag. But that's the, and we all have it, and we still go through it. I still sometimes remind myself all the time. Last week, I reminded myself of Auntie Mag, and I took a step. So the fear is not something that will just suddenly go. You'll go through it. You'll be going through it. Then you'll be reminding yourself. Then you'll be pushing yourself. Then you'll be pushing yourself. And you do that and do that and do that. Sometimes you wake up afraid. Now, talking about the dream too, many of us sometimes forget that we slept to dream. So sometimes you have a dream and then you suddenly, like, you just expect that you should be at the end of that dream. You slept about 6 to 8 hours and you dreamt it. So that means take your time, step by step. Start small. Start small. So it's a big dream, but be realistic about right now, about today. I cannot get there right now, but let me take one step. Let me take the next step. Let me take the next step. So ladies and gentlemen, we will start small, but we'll get there. Okay.
Wow. We're going to start small. We'll definitely get there. And we're getting there because we will not let fear cripple time. And so, just in wrapping up, talk about vulnerability. As leaders, people think you are Superman, Superwoman. People think you have a very posh and pristine life. They don't know the ins and outs and the intricacies of what it takes to be Emmeline and what it takes to be Renee Q. They don't understand that you also have struggles and challenges. And many times as leaders, we want to hide. We want to hide the fact that we struggle. And as we move on in life, we realize that vulnerability is also a tool for leadership and for inspiration. And I'd like us to just briefly touch on that, on how to be able to use vulnerability as a tool that empowers our leadership and that empowers the next generation of women to also step into the arena. And also about how we can ask for help. Usually we shy away from asking for help and we don't want to seem inadequate. But how can we ask for help in a way that empowers people to know, you don't have to have everything figured out. You can go along the way. You can get people, you can admit where you struggle so that people can help strengthen you. How do we take advantage of vulnerability to stand in the arena? Yes, please go ahead.
Vulnerability is one of my favorite words. Um, I know a lot of people still think that vulnerability is something you should avoid. Part of it is our culture. You need to pose to be strong even when you are dying. That's why even mental health these days has become a topic. The less you understand vulnerability, the more you pose your danger to mental health. But the issue with vulnerability is such that you need to learn how to manage it. Why? Ask yourself why people don't like to be vulnerable in the first place. Because people think that it gives you a certain, downgrades you, people use it against you. Is that not it? Aha. And some of us feel so ashamed of our past. Hey, that past, the gold inside, you have no idea. Your past is wonder. I tell God, God, I thank you. The thing I used to read, say, God, why? Now, God, thank you. The highs, the lows, the wasted years that people said they were wasted. I tell God, I thank you. It happened to me. The reason why you would connect with people is because people know you are human. So we see people, we think, oh, Renee, hey, Jay, I can't talk to her, oh, Charlie, her level there. She's so, hey. But listen how she's been able to, with humility, you can see that is why her strength comes from humility. So when you're vulnerable, you learn to be humble. And if you're not humble, you cannot handle the weight of your glory. What God has for you is heavier than what you're going through right now. But we don't know. We think that the fact that people can't see us, people can't notice us, people don't like us, that weight is heavy. Wait till you get there. Where public decides where you eat, where you sleep, who you marry, how many kids you have. Then you know that, Charlie, I should have been where I was. But as much as when you are called to be great, you can't avoid it. Learn to accept your flaws. Let your flaws be the reason to remind yourself that that human being you can neglect tomorrow is the reason why you should respect that person. I am not somebody who likes to see people on status level. I deal with people who are human. So whether you have money or not, once you respect people, you find me around you. Is that not it? Yeah. But the vulnerability is actually beauty. People, if I came here and I only spoke to you about all I had achieved, would I let you know how I went through it? You will leave this summit feeling, okay, all they came to do is to yob, then what next? But when I'm able to share my story with you, understand that it's a lesson, then you're able to connect. Many times I go to speak and I love to share my story. Then when we are done, oh my God, finally. So I am a human being after all. Oh wow, I can continue this journey. That's what vulnerability does to you. When you're able to share your story, nobody can use it against you. Are you aware? There are people who learn to laugh at themselves before you laugh at them. Some, oh, my forehead there, forehead gang go, Charlie, forehead gang. You can't laugh at it again. Now, forehead is beauty. Before, people were shy about it. But now, hairstylists tell you they prefer to do people with forehead. Because the hairstyles they can do more styles with it than we who don't have. Like, you see, the thing you are running away from is what people are looking for. Those days, when I've been a woman with, I've been curvy since I remember. And I used to not like it. I used to detest it. Today, people are paying for BBL. You get it? People go, you won't go on my social media and see me flaunting hips. Ask Zoe, she'll tell you. I don't like attention. But there are women who will earn a living through that. You get what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is that whatever flaw you think you have, somebody else wishes it was her strength. That's what I'm going to tell you. Somebody wish her hair was so long. That woman with the long hair wish, my goodness, I cut it every two. I'm tired. I want my hair to remain short. Please, there is beauty in ashes. Broken pencils still writes. Money that is rumpled still has value. You were raped, you were abused, you were dumped, and so what? Like she said, and then whatever. And so, please keep moving. There are people who are they call them Paralympics. What they call it? This Olympic. I didn't know we had people who have. I didn't even know that word existed, and they're taking pictures and they are proud of it. Please, let your ashes be your beauty. Thank you.
Let your ashes be your beauty. Indeed.
Interrupted you. I was going to say it's okay. Let me say some. You,
You say so.
but I love it. What she said. Number one, the humility in it all. Because we are not God. We really are not God, and we are not created to be God. None of us is perfect. And I think when you are vulnerable, when you have that sort of mindset, it allows for you to maintain your humility. I love it when, like she said, I go to places, I share my story. In sharing my story, I don't even know that it's healing somebody else because somebody has my story but is hiding it. So silently is breaking, is silently is dying with it. There are people around we see, they are dying. They are dying. They are alive but dead. So they hear things like that and they say to themselves, oh, like it's not just me. And if she said this and she's gone through it, it encourages them, it uplifts them, it empowers them. It tells them, then I can also go through it. It's really, really important. I just love, being myself because I find that people have come to trust me for who I am. I have realized that sometimes people I don't know from anywhere can come and tell me things about themselves that I'm like, as they are telling me, I start saying, Holy Spirit, help me. How should I answer? What should I say? But then I realize that sometimes it's not for a response. It's just for a squeeze. That's all. I just need to squeeze their hand, kakrebi. That's all. That's all. Then we'll hug. Then maybe we'll cry small. Then maybe you'll kiss my cheek. Then I'll kiss your cheek. Then that's it. It's not for a response. I start panicking. Hey, what should I say? I'm not a psychologist, though. In my mind, I don't have the degree. I don't have the masters. I haven't trained. It's not about that. Sometimes they just need that shoulder to cry on. And if we're all perfect, madam, who will we cry on? So everybody is like, oh, like this, like this, like this. Are you really who you are? And who you are is who you should be everywhere. So the Renee here should be the Renee you should see in Makola. Should be the Renee you should see in church. Should be the Renee you see you see at the airport. Should be the Renee you see wherever. Because some people they are different. Over here they are different. Church they are different. Airports I'm traveling. like every some people are different. So when some people that you're like, hey, this is a travel mode. Then now you wait from a distance. Being vulnerable is being real. It's just saying to yourself that I am human. It's just saying, and it also gives you it gives you the mindset for growth and for to keep educating yourself, to keep learning, to keep asking yourself, how can I improve? How can I make this better? So then it gives you, so you always keep learning, from other people, from reading, and your mistakes. We were not taught to fail as Africans. You were what? You were what? In class, you were what? 39th. 39th. And how many are you in class? 42. And you were 39th. You are dead. Now, even if you were 7th, you are dead. If you were second, you are dead. I remember my son had this. I think I put this baby game on my iPad when he was less than 2. And there was one time he was crying. So I asked him, I said, why are you crying? And then he pointed it to me and it was just showing a star saying, fail, fail, fail. He was about 2 or 3. And he said, I was very angry initially as a mother. Immediately, I was just like, why should a game like that, be saying, pointing fail like that to a child? What does it want the child to think? Then I remembered, I never saw that. So I don't know how to fail. So I actually said, this is very good that they are seeing this at 2 because they'll see it and see it and see it. So I said to him, when you see it, what does it mean? What does it mean? It means what? We can do it and we'll do it and we'll do it again. So sometimes you say, Mommy, I failed. I'm going to do it again. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that's what we do now. So he does something, he gets failed. Oh my God, I failed. But we'll do it again. So I said, so what are we going to do? We failed. What are you going to do? So no. So what I saw is I did this. Then they are learning. Then they are learning. We were not allowed to fail. So that's why some people are committing suicide. Some people are cutting themselves because they are afraid to come and tell their mother that they were third in a degree of maybe 200 and something. You were third. You are afraid to come back to Ghana. I know somebody who has killed herself because she was afraid from the UK to come and tell because she was afraid. International fees. So listen, it from now, let's live. Let's live whilst we are living. Let's be real. Living is being real. It also takes away headache and migraine because sometimes, seriously, all the fakeness and everything can be so heavy on you, and you're just asking yourself, where are you going? And who in here?
To remember the
Really,
stories.
be real. Seriously, and learn from your failures. Your failures are just to let you keep growing, to just to show you that you haven't gotten there. Because if you also don't fail, you won't get to the top because you'll just be at this level. You'll be comfortable there. So vulnerability, I don't have an issue with it. I mean, sometimes people will say to me, but why do you go and be saying this about yourself? Why would you be telling people? Number one, why? How is it your business? If I'm telling how is it your story? Do you understand? But many more people, I don't want to get to heaven and God would say, what did you do with that testimony I gave you? We are praying for testimonies. With testimonies come tests. Now, if I don't share my testimony, you will not know that you too, you can have a testimony. I'll leave it there.
Wow. This is, yes, amazing. Amazing. And as you were speaking, something just dropped into my heart that even Jesus had scars. And it is because of his scars that we can receive healing, right? So never be ashamed that you have scars or you have imperfections. It is those very things that make us strong. When we leverage on the things that we think are weaknesses, we can become even much more than we thought. We'll close the curtains here. I know there are a couple of questions. Um, I wish we had more time, but there'll be more opportunities. I urge you to just catch them in the corner when you see us take a break or something. Um, so we have a question from Nora. How do you turn your critics or naysayers into propellers for pursuit? And the second one is from Fafa. She says, in the process of taking risks, eh, in the process of taking risks, and you find yourself with so many ideas and dreams you know you are capable of achieving, how do you know which one to start with? So the second one is in the process of taking risks, you realize you have so many dreams, so many ideas, so many things you're capable of. How do you know which one do you start with? You have so many ideas. How do you know which one to go start with? So I'll give you that. And then the other one is, how do you turn your critics or naysayers into propellers for pursuit? And Emmeline, you'll take that. Yes, how do you turn your critics or naysayers into propellers for pursuit?
So I said it earlier that if you want me to grow, just reject me, critique me. The point is that you have a decision to make, actually. People's opinions about you are their opinions. First of all, just like everyone has noses, everyone has opinions. You can't stop it. You just need to, first of all, know that you're not doing what you're doing for anybody, but you're doing it for yourself. I will normally say I'm doing it first to my God and then for myself, right? So the easiest way to get people, naysayers and whatever, to get them to swallow back their words is to prove them wrong. So the first thing I'll ask you is, why you do what you do? What is your personal mission in life? What is your personal vision in life? What are your goals? What do you want to achieve? When you were having these things drawn up, were those people with you? No. So why do you have to take into consideration what negatively they say? Admittedly, we need constructive criticism. People need to learn to critique what you believe in, to prove to you whether or not what you're doing means something to you or not. Sometimes life tests you to be sure that what you're not doing is a fluke. Some of you just do things because I want people to notice me. Hey, I want to be like Zoe Louis, so I can also do events. And people will know that, hey, if you live your life based on the benefits of what you want, you will end it before it starts. Because everything God puts in your heart to do has a pressure spot. When a sailor starts the journey, the storms don't start from bay. The storms form in the middle of the sea. That is why we say that a sailor is made in toughest storms. That is why you know he's a sailor. So God never shows you the stress you will go through when you're going. If he does that, you won't start anyways. So you say, I'm going to make you great. You're going to reach out to women. You're going to inspire women. And you feel it in your spirit that, yes, I can do. Yes, we can. And you feel like you're Michelle Obama. So your mind, I'm going to be the next Michelle Obama, next Oprah, the next Renee Q. Then you start. Then you get to the middle. Then your friends are the first people the devil will use to critique you first. You know, people who critique you are not people you don't care about. Oh. If I don't know you, critique me, I don't know you. But when it's people within your household, then you understand people who are married and their husbands didn't believe in them at first. That's even the worst. The person you sleep with every night doesn't believe in what you are doing. There are women who have had to prove to their husband, their husbands are Charlie, they are cheerleaders today. So what I'm saying is that you need to let that thing mean something. Understand what you're doing. Understand that it is you. You can't separate your purpose from your passion, right? And the moment you understand that there is a connection between your soul, your passion, and your purpose, whatever people say just become elevators for you. And for me, when you critique me, you're only letting me know I'm doing something right. Who talks about things that don't matter in the first place? But because you are going somewhere and they don't want you to get there, they need to put impediments in your way. Use those impediments. You've heard it before. It's a cliche these days. Let your stumbling blocks be your what? Stepping stones. That is exactly what you need to do. And prove to them that you really, really are called to do what you want to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That's amazing. Thank you. And the next question, as I said, in a myriad of dreams and ideas, how do you know which one to start with? Maybe I have 5 ideas of things I could possibly do. How do I know which one to go along with?
Some of them are hobbies that you think are dreams. Now, all your dreams and your visions and all of them, write all of them down. Now, what is the purpose for each and every one of them? Each and every one of them. For what? For yourself. How is this, if it's a dream, how is it going to impact your life? How is it going to impact the lives of others as well? How is it also going to earn you an income? Because some of it as well, like I said, a lot of hobbies, a lot of us have hobbies that we think are our dreams. You know, enjoy the hobbies at home and all that. You know, don't invest. And I also said before that also, how much are you willing to sacrifice? So know that with any vision or idea that you have to sacrifice a lot. Now, say you have 3 of them, so list all the 3 of them. So, number one, what really is the vision? Do you even understand the vision? Because I think I love hair, but I think I love the hair. I think I like doing hair. No, I think I like buying the hair. I think I like the curly hair. I think I like the straight hair. What is the vision? You are seeing hair, but what about hair? Are you seeing? That's the thing. What is the vision, number one? Now, how different is it anyway? What can you do? What can you bring in that will be different from everything else? Because everybody else is doing hair. What can you bring that will set you apart from everybody else? That should also be one of your points for your vision. Now, when you look at all of these 3, and this is the list here, one of it will stop somewhere here. One of it will keep going. But I can even add this, and this will, and this, and other people too. Other people too will learn from it. It will reach here. It will go further. It will bring me. So as this is going down, you will see that the others will start dropping at a certain level. Sometimes even the one that is actually your purpose and your vision is not the one that will even excite you as much as one other was exciting you. Don't follow just excitement. Don't follow excitement can make you broke. I'm telling you. Excitement can look. I'm telling you, some investments that I've made, I lost out of excitement. It was a lesson. I failed and I learned. Seriously, I'm telling you. Because at a point, I was giving what I thought the people needed and not what, no, yeah, and not what they needed. I was giving what they wanted and not what they needed. So that's a question. Now, this that I'm bringing, is it a want or is it a need? Will it be a want or a need for people? Because if it's a need, no matter what, everybody's crying about dollars, but people are still shopping. Everybody is crying about dollars, but there are some businesses that can't even they can't even they can't even keep up with it. Serious, they can't meet it. You can be that business, but is it the right business? That's the question. So whoever you are, whoever asks this question, be true to yourself and be honest. All these things, ask yourself, is it something I started from when I was a child? So it's something I like, okay? Is this something my mother has been telling me that I should do? All these things, sometimes we put it in our mind and we think that they are our dreams and our vision. Write them all down and ask yourself these, question the dreams. Begin to question the dreams. And as the dreams are answering to you, you know which one is the most important. And you can have two, you can have three, but start with one, ground yourself, and then continue. So don't start all at once and you'll be so confused. Your mind is all, because if it's in different areas as well, you'll be so confused. You can set it, if it's three things that you want to do, it's fine, but put it together and prioritize. Which one should I start with and why? Start that to a certain level, then introduce the next, introduce the next. Multimillionaire.
Thank you. We have one last question. Do you want us to take this? Are you okay with the time? Okay, last question is on the business front. How do you start a dream business with little or no capital? I have ideas, but I don't have the resources now to power them. What do I do? How do I start? Esther, can you own your question? Let us ask some questions for clarity. Okay, that's Esther.
Who is this? And don't be shy. Come, we are talking, and from what you say, somebody else will learn. Okay, so that I will come. Let's start now. Please, that one. Okay, very, very quickly, just 1 minute. Tell me the story.
Okay, so the business I
No,
want.
that's like 30 seconds. I think that's 30 seconds. So what is it, and then what is the income that you don't have to start with? Because how much do you think you need?
Okay, for the meantime, I think I'll need like 10,000
And what's the business idea?
frames, selling of frames, spectacles.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So why don't you think you need 1,000 to start? And then when you get the 1,000, the profit that you
Yeah.
reinvest it. So why 10,000?
So I can get at least enough, like medium, something
Right.
medium.
What are the quantity? So why don't you
Yeah.
reduce the quantity so that the capital is reduced as well?
Okay.
But you see, that's why I said start what? Everybody's screaming, start what? Buy spectacles. When I started, I used to go to Nigeria Balogun Market.
Wow.
I loved it.
Wow. At that time.
I used to go to Balogun Market.
Echo.
Sit down, sit down. I used to go to Balogun Market. Can you hear me? Quite loud. I used to go there. So I'll fly to Lagos. I'll go there and go and get things. And I started like that. And then it got to a point that number one, I got some more money, enough money, but I also got the mindset that the things that I'm seeing, they're even limiting me. I can go further to get better, even produce my own brand. I did that for more than 3 or 4 years before I went to China for the first time. If I had waited for money to go to China, I would have never even have started. So you see, the thing is, yes, maybe you feel 10,000 because 10,000 will give you like maybe 1,000 frames. Okay, 10,000 will give you about how many?
200 to 300.
So why don't we start with 50? Do you know why as well? Because you don't even have the brand yet. So people don't even know your brand. So the 50, it will be better for you to just have the 50 and sell it quickly than the 200. Your money will be just even locked in there because you are not selling it because people don't know you yet. But you start with the 20, do something spectacular with some sort of, then people are, oh, we want more. 20, take it to 50. 50, take it to 100. By the time you have the money for the 1,000, people know your brand and they are chasing after you. Why get the 1,000 and go and put it down? Then, hey, they are not buying. What happened to that income? What happened to that capital? So the thing is, let's not be looking for that huge capital. Please, what are we going to do? We are going to start with even 10 pieces, 10 pieces, and grow on that. So next week, I'm seeing your business.
I
I'll
love
talk
that.
to you after.
So let me add a little to what my sister has said. So first of all, why this business? Don't answer me. Think about it. What need did you see? What problem are you solving? Can you do order, like make an order and pay before delivery? These days, people don't even buy the thing down. They get the orders, you commit, they buy, and they deliver. Because like she said, if you go and buy the whole 10,000, and if you can risk inventory, there's a word in like accounting, your inventory stock becomes high. And guess what? By the time you now sell it, the dollar is not waiting for you. Then when you now go and buy, the 10,000 cannot buy up to 200. So start with what we call the MVP, minimum viable product. Test and see how people are responding. There are many spectacle businesses on Instagram. I see them a lot. You have identify how they did it, find out what is still relevant, and create, understand if you're doing a niche market, are you doing a mass market. All of those things have to be put in place before you ask for money. In truth, there is no business that you need money to start with. Absolutely, you don't really need money.